Live. Okay. Hey, you guys. Hey, everybody. It's Talia, your creative confidence mentor. I'm a little late tonight. Um, I got into the show. It is so good that I forgot what time it was. But I'm here. I'm glad you guys can join me. This is Talia, your creative confidence mentor. I'm here to reintroduce you or reconnect you to your creative identity. And if you already consider yourself a creative, then my job is halfway done. But I'm here tonight to show you guys that you can do it too. And I've got this canvas here. It's a painting that I've already done. You can kind of see the glitter in it. You see it? I added glitter to my blue paint, so you can kind of see it on the canvas a little, not too much. But this is what I'm going to be using as my background. And I've seen something that I want to try, and I figured it would be a good idea to come on here and you guys will be able to see me do it. And that way, if you want to try it, you'll know how to do it. So basically what we're doing tonight, or what I'm doing, is I will be using some tape and some paint. And we're going to make a 3D weave. It's going to look like it's woven onto my painting. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and lower the camera. If you're coming in, please say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you have any questions while we're doing this, go ahead and ask, and I'll be able to answer. So I'm going to go ahead and tilt the camera down. You won't be able to see my face, but you'll be able to see my workspace. Let's put this back here. Okay. Is it crooked? There we go. Okay. So here's my canvas. And I'm just going to cut strips of tape. I'm not doing this in any particular way as far as like, I'm not going to measure it out. I'm not going to try and be perfect about this because this is art, not math. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, don't be too worried about how crooked or even it is. I'm just going to do 2 strips here and probably 2 going this way. I think after I show you guys, I might even do a flip through. Some of you are also following me on Instagram, so I know you guys have seen my doodles, my watercolor, and my drawings, or my attempt at drawing with the Inktober challenge. Oh, hey, I see Pastor, Jen, and Caleb, and Izzy. Are you guys all on here with me? Hi. So I'm gonna put this back down. So yeah, I'm gonna put this back this way. How are you guys enjoying your weekend so far? Like I said, I don't know if you guys were on here when I first started, but I was saying that I got so into a show that I forgot it was time for me to come on live. That's why I was a little late tonight, but here we go. Actually, I might maybe do 3 because the squares are going to be pretty big. This way. I also got to be mindful that the more tape I put on here, the more work I'm going to need to do for the 3D part. Oops, it's not long enough. Oh, that's good. Relaxing is always good. I have a book that I've been trying to read, and I had it with me on the couch, but I'm telling you, that show sucked me in. It's called the Haunting at Bly Manor. Yeah. So go. Looks good. I'm gonna keep it like this. Put this away for another time. So I have 2 colors that I can pick from. This is a dark green, and this one is a gray, but it's kind of got some like a metallic kind of look to it. So maybe I'll use this one. I just need to know if I have enough. Yep. Have my cup here for my water. So the reason why I have the tape is because it's going to help me make my squares without me having to draw lines or measure anything. And I'm not going to use a whole lot of paint, hopefully. This shouldn't be as messy as it usually gets with the pouring. So that's a good thing. Just getting it to the tip here. All right, so I'm not using a whole lot. I'm just putting a little bit on the tip. And then I'm just going to go in each one of these squares. We're basically making a shadow. So I'm painting more on the tape than I am on the canvas. And all that's getting on the canvas is going to create a slight little shadow. See that? And I'm going to do it on each little square. So it's going to take some time, but you get to hang out with me. So let me know, what are you guys doing tonight? Is there anything? Is anybody else getting sucked into some shows like I did? I heard kids running around outside earlier. Go. I've seen, okay, so I follow this lady on YouTube who also does painting. I think her channel is called Me Painting, MII Painting. And she's the one that demonstrated this 3D weave a couple of times. She also does a like a 3D bubble, so it looks like you have water droplets on your painting. I've yet to try that out, but this one seemed like it was something I could try. So I've never done this before, and that's why I wanted to do it on the live, so that way you guys could see me do it and learn as well. So I've got that there, and I'm going to use this dry paintbrush to spread it and see if there's a difference. A little bit, not too much. It does help that when I use this paintbrush, which applies the paint, it spreads a little bit more. And then when I come through with this one with a dry brush, it kind of keeps it on the canvas as opposed to my paintbrush picking it back up. So I think I'm going to continue that technique on the rest of them. So I'm just going to put some paint along the edge of the tape and then use the dry paintbrush. Oh, look, my left hand gets to join us. I'm right-handed, so this is a task that my left hand can help with. Garfield. Man, I miss Garfield. I used to watch that when I was a kid too. And actually, I would consider myself Garfield with how much lasagna I used to love when I was a kid. Yeah, I still like lasagna. I think that's been my favorite for a long time. And then when I found out that Garfield loves lasagna, that was it. He was my favorite cartoon forever. Hey, Caleb. I see you joined us. So I'm just making the little squares or making shadows with the little squares so that way I could create a 3D look on my painting. We're gonna make it look like this is woven. So we're just making the little squares first. But the cool trick of making it look 3D is gonna be the next step after this. But if you can master this step, it'll help you with the next one. That's usually what it is with learning, right? You gotta master the first step before you go on to the next one. You gotta make it through kindergarten before they let you go to first grade. Hey, Olivia. Yeah, you can make it. This is like what is that called? The Karate Kid wax on, wax off. Got my left hand to apply the paint and my right hand to create the shadow. This is gonna look cool, I can already tell. I know you can't really see how it looks because the tape's on here, it kind of looks messy. But once we remove the tape, it's gonna look pretty cool. Or should I say it's gonna look pretty dope. All right, so there we are. All the little squares have shadows. You can paint it. Now the fun part, you ready for the reveal? Let's see, which tape did I put on first? This layer on. And I'm gonna reuse this, so I'm gonna put it aside. This is the fun part of painting too. It's you get to see the magic come alive. Ta-da! We get all those perfect squares. Okay, now, are you ready to see how we turn this into a 3D woven look? Oh, hey, cool. Olivia, I just seen your post that you're creating with me. So that's cool. If anybody is watching this that's not familiar with Olivia's channel, you got two places that you can see her. It's on YouTube here as Olivia Hayward. That's H-E-Y, not H-A-Y, Hayward. And then also on Facebook as Oh So Pretty. And she makes handmade earrings, so you can also watch her create. So I'm just putting it across. Do you see how we've got this line coming down this way? I'm gonna make it look like this is coming over and then going under, over. Oh, you know what? I don't have enough, so we're gonna go this way. Sorry if I confused anybody. We're gonna take this off. The reason why I'm turning it is because if I have it this way, it's only gonna look, whoops, it's only gonna look like it's coming over one and then under. And if it does that all the way down, it's gonna look a little strange. So I'm turning it this way so we can see the over, under, over. Okay. So where it's gonna be over is where I'm placing the tape here. And that way when we create a shadow going this way, it'll look like it's there. Wait, so I guess I would be marking the ones that are going under, right? You'll see, you'll see. Just watch. I'm pretty sure I confused somebody. So I did that. I skipped these two because they're over on this one. And actually, that's gonna look strange. So remember, I haven't done this before either. I've only watched it. So we're learning together. And if I make a mistake, then you guys will get to see how learning happens. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So now we've got these sections covered. And we're going to do the same thing. But we're only going to do the shadow above and below where I have the tape. Okay? So same thing. Same technique. Place the paint. And then create a shadow. Olivia, what kind of color theme do you have going on, or what step of your jewelry making process are you on? Watching Olivia create also has helped me see how her process works. Like there's all we see is the finished product of her clay earrings, but there's a whole lot to it. Like she picks the colors, and then if she needs to make a custom color, she has to mix them all together to get it the right color. Then she has to roll it out. But the fun part, I think, is when she picks the shape and then cuts them out. And then, you know, she bakes it, and then she creates the earrings. She assembles them. And then she puts extra care into it by packing the earrings and sending them off with like special notes to her customers and pictures and her business card. Like she does all of that. I think that's dope. So there we go. Got the paint on there. I'm gonna go ahead and create the shadow. Well, that one's kind of light. I like that I'm not having to use a whole bunch of paint for this. This is actually pretty simple. You could even do this with watercolor if you don't have acrylic paint. I think the main thing would be your tape. If you have masking tape, that's going to be the main thing. And if you have watercolors, then of course you'll paint everything but your tape. And if you have tape on there, then whatever you paint will actually not be painted. Whatever you paint on the tape will come off when you take off the tape like this. You see how crazy and messy it looks on this? You ready? All right, come on, Jen. Can I have you do the drum roll again? Ooh, leopard ones? Olivia, you know those are going to be gone before you even get them up on your site. All right, here we go. I'm going to pull this off. You ready? Da, 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 da. See the full look. Oh, come on, tape. All right, so there's that part. Now we got to go over here and get these ones. Okay, so that's the over part. Now I got to make the under. So I'm going to go down this way. Okay. You see how it kind of blocks off? You can kind of see it coming together. All right. Now we got to do this so that way it'll look like our piece is going under. I'm going to go long way right here. And right here. So it would have worked if I had it this way. It's just that my brain didn't register it. So here we are. On that side. Oh wait, that's the left-hand job. I am definitely going to be doing more of, see, I've gotten so used to just pouring paint and leaving that as the painting. But I've been a little too hesitant and scared to paint all my paintings because I figure, like, you know, if I make a really nice background or if I poured a really nice one like this one here. I'm going to show you guys one of my old paintings. You see how this looks? This is poured paint. I think that if I were to paint over it, I would be worried that if I messed up, then it would ruin the whole thing. So that's why I've kind of stuck to, once I pour it, that's it, it's fine. And then this is my first time being fearless and just taking a painting and painting on it. And I don't think I'm going to ruin it. I think this is going to come out pretty neat. So here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Did it come out right? Let me look at it. I don't think I did this right. We can see where he goes over, but then he got stuck over here. I don't have a line going across. I have to do another one, right? Do another line right here. And then it'll get covered. So that's why. Yeah, let's go. We still got one more step to go. I hope you guys will take this and see that it's not scary. You've got to try it, and this is how you learn. And kids, I think kids are so awesome because they still have the superpower that the adults have lost along the way, which is that courage to keep trying new things and not be afraid. So, to the kids out there watching, if anybody makes you feel or say something about your work. Don't let that stop you from improving or practicing. Because it even happened to me. Like, I haven't always been this creative. I started when I was a kid, and I think I turned in, this is going to sound so funny, but I think I turned in something. I was so happy about my work that I finished it, and I was like, after this gets graded, I'm going to bring it home, and I'm going to hang it up. And then the teacher went and marked on my drawing with a pen, and I was so sad, just like I am now. This didn't work out how it was supposed to. You guys, this is not how you make the 3D painting. So yeah, this is what it looks like when I didn't do it right. So this shows it went over, but I messed up here. How do you make it go under? You can see right here it goes under because it's got the lines here. Okay, I had the lines here. What did I do different, you guys? Do you guys see what I did wrong? I have extra squares right here that aren't supposed to be there. So it went over. It was supposed to get cut off here and then not have this. So that's where it went. Let's see if we can get a little green in there. I'm gonna wash off my paintbrush. Don't fret, we're still gonna work this out. All right, I'll show you guys how to fix this. All right, so it goes under. So this one needs to be covered. Let me look at it. Let me look at it. It looks crazy now. Well, I'm glad I used silver and not black. That would have been harder to cover. Are y'all laughing with me? I hope you're laughing with me. Oh, good. Olivia, when you make those basket weave earrings, I hope they don't look like my painting. Just kidding. No, it's gonna come out cool because yours is clay. You actually get to weave them. That's so crazy. You're gonna weave the clay. Are you gonna do that on live? I hope you do that live because that would be so cool to watch. And they've got to be tiny, right? Because they're on earrings. That's gonna be some tiny weaving. So if anybody looks at this painting up close, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I can see your mistake. You tried to cover that." So I'm gonna blend it. I don't know if anybody, some of you might know out there, Olivia's on my team. Lady Jen, I know you know I sell Mary Kay, but if anybody out there watching doesn't know that I sell Mary Kay, I can tell you one thing I've learned about makeup. Blend, 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 blend. You gotta blend until the sun goes down. All right, do the same. Wait, we gotta make this look this way, and this way, and that way, and then this one, and that way. It's this way. This one also has to be covered. You guys, it didn't work out, okay? But it's okay. It didn't work out, but it's okay. So this was my attempt at making the 3D weave. It didn't come out, but the under part is where I didn't quite get it. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch these videos and then reteach myself. And then there will be a success story that comes out of this, and I'll be like, look, you guys, here's my first attempt. I messed up on live. And then I came back and I learned how to do it. So don't worry, you guys will see when I do another one, when I get it right. But in the meantime, this is what we did. And at least you learned how you can create these lines, that you don't have to make it perfect, but masking tape is your friend. And anywhere that you have masking tape, it will not be painted, just like this. I use masking tape for this one. I'm gonna put this back out and pretend like that one didn't happen. No, I'm just kidding. But you see here, I had the masking tape. That's why it's got all these cool angles and lines. While this was covered, I painted the background white, and then I used a regular brush like this, and I just splattered white. I mean, sorry, I splattered black all over. And then it didn't quite work out. So I used a sponge, and then I used that to just pat it all over, and then that's how it's got that texture look. And then this part, this is when I learned about paint pouring. So I took a cup, actually one of these, look at this. One of these little cups, I filled it with paint, and then I flipped it over. And then I let the paint pour out, and that's why it's called acrylic paint pouring. You pour the paint out, and it just flows wherever it wants to. And remember, I still had the tape here. So it got everywhere. It even got on the tape. But as soon as I removed the tape, this whole thing was empty and uncovered by paint. So I was able to go back and fill it in. So if anything, we seen my attempt at doing the 3D weave. It kind of looks like it came out, and then at places it didn't. So I'll work on that. And while we're still here, I actually wanted to do a flip through. Like I mentioned, I know some of you are following me on Instagram. And October is actually called or referred to as Inktober for some artists. And I didn't know about this until this year. I had a friend who bought one of my paintings from me. She sent me a little gift in the mail. I think it was the 7th when I received it. And she said, you know, I'm sorry it's a little late. The challenge already started, but I hope you will join me. And so I did. So shout out to Michelle. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for the gift, because the package that she sent me included this book here, this watercolor paintbrush. It's actually made for travel. So you see this little tube in here, it's got water in it. So I can fill my water up by removing this little piece here. And I pour the water in. I seal it back. And if you can see, there's like a little thing sticking out. It actually goes in this end. So once I screw it on, it pins in there. And when you squeeze this, it delivers water to this little sponge in here, which comes down to your paintbrush. And the cool thing is that it came with these little color sheets. These are actually watercolors. And if you look at this, mine is very messy. But this is the paint. It's on a little square. Here, let me show you guys. Let me pull you. I'm gonna put you back down here to the workspace. And I might actually present to you guys from down here. So let me find one of the first ones. So day 1 was fish. Actually, let me get the prompt so I can reference what's really going on. All right, so it comes with this, and these are your prompts. For each day, it gave you a different word, and for each day, I had to create something, either what came to mind when I seen that word or the actual thing. So the first day was fish, and this was me just playing around. You see how he's so huge and these are so little. And then the water is like he's on top of the water, so this isn't realistic, but that was just what came to my mind. But look at this. This is when I actually looked up the type of fish that I like, and I got a little bit of practice with the paintbrushes. So I don't know if you guys have seen Shark Tale, the cartoon. That's like that fish that's on there. I don't know what it's called, but I had to look it up and get kind of a reference for it. This one, the paint got a little dark for me, but I still like how it came out. And then for day 2 was Wisp. So I drew some feathers, or painted some feathers. Day 3 was Bulky. And I was struggling. I didn't know what to come up with or what to draw. So it's a big old mountain or a big old boulder. And I think my caption was that his word in your mouth will move mountains. And then this one here is a radio. I painted the background and then just drew a radio on top of it. This is a free drawing. I like that. So let me go ahead and show you guys how this works. Paintbrush, I'm going to squeeze it a little bit. Oops, there goes. Got some water. Let's see. like this cherry blossom color. It comes out nice. This is what I painted the ballet shoes with today. Ooh, let's make a volcano. This is the lava coming down. It's on fire. Need some smoke coming out of it. And you see, as you add water, it fades out. It's on fire. And I'm doing this upside down. I don't know if you guys noticed that. That's my volcano. All up in smoke. And then here's the hot coal. But yeah, that's how it works. And this paper is actually, I think it's cotton. I'm not sure. But it has a texture to it. And that's how you get your, you see how my watercolors just kind of go into those grooves. It's because of the paper that it's made out of. Right? And then there's a couple days that I missed because I didn't receive this until the 7th, which was the first day that I joined the challenge. So the word for the 7th was fancy. And you can see I did the background first. I actually cut out the outline of the Eiffel Tower, and I have gold washi tape on the background. That's why there's this paper back here. This paper behind it is actually what got my washi tape. I taped my washi tape to this and glued it to the back. So that's how I got that done. And then day 8 was teeth. So this is just me brainstorming what I was gonna do. I was gonna do a pain scale, a 1 to 10 with the teeth, you know, happy and then really sad and hurt. And then maybe a vampire, the donut that says bite me. But what I decided to do or submit was actually this comic here. And it's the wisdom tooth. He's sad. Because I don't know if you guys know about dental and teeth, but if a tooth is in sideways, it's called impacted. So he comes home sad, and his wife asks him, "How was your day?" And he says, "They let me go. I'm too impactful." And then his son comes in and he says, "At least they don't call you Bucktooth." So that's what that was. And then for throw, I have a really huge mountain here that they're trying to throw the ball over. And then hope. So a lot of people drew, you know, butterflies and happy things, but my interpretation of hope was a little bit different. You can kind of see somebody down there, but I was trying to illustrate that this person was down here in the darkness and didn't really know they were in the darkness until someone came with a light. So it was that little piece of light that was their hope. And for day, what are we on now? Day 10? Let me see. Hope was 10. Oh, disgusting was day 11. So the first person or first character that came to mind was disgust. Disgusting. You see somebody pointing out like they're showing her a piece of booger. So I think I did pretty good at drawing that. It looks pretty disgusting. Let's see here. Day 12 was slippery. And this was my attempt at drawing some slippery slopes. I used a marker first and then the watercolor so it looks a little stiff on my lines. I did enjoy making this dune though. So you can see I used this side to kind of give it some shadowing and this side was supposed to be light. And I used the crosshatch pattern. I just used a marker, drew some lines one way and then went another way or another direction. So I didn't really color it like you normally would. It's just by drawing the lines on top of each other that it makes it look like it's actually colored. Pretty cool, huh? Oops, wrong way. And then Izzy, Caleb, you guys might be familiar with this because we had a lesson on this. It's the armor of God. The word for the day was armor, but that's what came to my mind, of course, was the armor of God. So I've got the belt of truth, breastplate of righteousness, the gospel of peace, the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is, I'll let them answer that in the comments. And then, oh, I keep going the opposite direction. Outpost. Outpost is usually like a lookout space or somewhere that someone can look out from. But on this day, I think I got caught up in something that I didn't have time to draw, and it was a little too detailed for what I could draw or was capable of. So I wrote it out instead, and I went back to my usual doodling. So if you can see on each letter, I actually have patterns and different little designs. So that was for my submission for Outpost. And then Rocket. Day 16 was Rocket. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the movie Cool Runnings, but they have a little go-kart or a box car called the Rasta Rocket. So that's what I drew. And then I had some stuff come to mind while I was painting, so I put it on there. This one is my favorite. This one, actually, the prompt is called Storm. And there was actually a storm in my life at the time. I found out that one of my cousins had it was a dark day. So I've got the painting that reveals it. There's a song called Storm Coming by Gnarls Barkley. And that's actually where I got the inspiration from. Each panel is associated with the lyrics. And so this part is like, there's just a hint of the storm coming. The skies are starting to get cloudy, or they're forming and gathering right there. And then once it gets dark enough and it's cold, then you start seeing the wind blowing. The lightning is about to come. And you see it's still kind of sunlight, but it's getting dark. And right here, you have a whole light show coming on. You got the clouds. The storm is here. But there's another part to it where the storm gets so bad that there's even a cyclone coming. You see that everything's getting flooded out. It's just all crazy. So y'all see that it's got the lyrics from the song as well. So that's what that is. And then we go back to being all happy and shiny and all that good stuff. This is what day did we just do? So 18, trap. 18 was trap. I thought about drawing a mouse in like a trap or something, but I didn't really find inspiration, or I couldn't draw that. So what I did instead is, you see, here we are. We're back to using masking tape. This is actually masking tape that I used from one of my paintings. So once I removed the tape, that part of the painting didn't have anything on it, but it was on my tape. So I got to use my tape as a border. And I have a poem from 2016 that's talking about lies and deception, and that you can reveal the truth. And then this one is Dizzy. This is actually another failed attempt. This is one that I learned from during the writing challenge as well. I mean, not the writing challenge, the Inktober challenge. So what I was trying to do was draw one of those 3D spiral looking things. If you look at it, it does make you dizzy. But what I started with was actually making rings when I should have drawn a spiral. So the way to do this successfully is to start from the center, make a spiral, and then do the patterns coming on each side like that. So when they come in, it'll look like it's going into the center instead of just like, to me, this looks like a woven basket, the bottom of a woven basket. There you go. And then this was coral. Day 20 was coral, and instead of drawing the animal, wait, did you guys know that coral is an animal? I didn't. I only found that out when I was doing this, and I was like, what am I gonna draw for coral? And the only thing I could think of was the color. But under the ocean, the coral, that's actually an animal because it's living. I didn't know that. So here we go. That's what I did for coral. At first I just drew it all out, and I came back later and colored it in. And then this one here. So my biggest struggle, or what I found out during this Inktober challenge, was that I'm not so great at drawing faces. That's my struggle. So you see the baby sleeping here. He kind of looks a little creepy because his eyes got a little dark. But the word for this day was sleep. And I think that's actually when I came back from my vacation. And so I was reflecting on my vacation and that I actually got to rest and sleep well. Slept like a baby. And then this is my favorite, my other favorite. Ratatouille is one of my favorite movies, and Remy is a cool character. So on day 22, when we had the prompt for chef, that's who I drew. And then day 23 was Rip. And a lot of people drew things that were torn or either like, RIP. So you saw a few gravestones. But I actually went back to my junk journaling techniques, and I have some torn paper. So I tore some paper and I made my background. And if you guys have heard of the story called Rip Van Winkle, that's him right there. He fell asleep under the tree. All right. And then dig. This is day 24 for dig. I have a shovel. Do you dig it? And I have a stick figure here. He's in volleyball. If you go for the ball, where you go dive down for the ball, it's called a dig. And so I have both a stick figure and a girl right here playing volleyball. And then we have dog, or no, it was Buddy. It was Buddy, and I remembered my dog Shadow. So he's I think he was half lab, half pit, or he was mixed, and he had big floppy ears, but he had the stance of the pit bull. And then Hyde was the next day, day 26. So I have a few of them. You see the guy hiding behind the brick wall. You see the stick figure hiding behind a happy balloon, but if you can kind of see back here, he's actually got like a dark face, just like this one. It's like when we're not being our authentic self, our light isn't showing. And day 27 is music. Music, music, music. So I have some lyrics here from Bob Marley's song, Trench Town Rock. It says, "One good thing about music is when it hits, you feel no pain." I've got the musical notes, got the reggae colors. And I have a drummer, a bass guitar player, and Bob Marley. It's on the microphone singing. And this one I actually did today. I was catching up while I was watching the TV show that I was stuck on. So this is for day 29. It's float. And I thought of root beer float. And it kind of actually looks like a fish. See, looks like the body of a fish. Here's the fin and the tail. But it's actually a root beer float. And then day 29 is shoes. I've always wanted to draw ballet, or I just thought it was fascinating to see them standing on their toes. And I actually thought it was going to be hard to draw for some reason. So I did it. And then this actually happened to be harder, or this was the part that took more time. But I think it came out pretty good. So if you can see, this is my journey through 31 days of this Inktober challenge. And I definitely did learn some skills. I did get better. I didn't draw anything for day 30. The word was ominous, and I haven't really thought of anything yet. So I may go back and do that later. But for today, day 31 is crawl. And I'm a big bookworm, or I like to consider myself a bookworm. And so a worm came to mind. So there he is. If you can name my worm, I would appreciate it because he doesn't have a name yet. All right. There we are. That's it. That's my flip through of my Inktober challenge. Again, shout out to Michelle. Thank you for sending this to me and including me. I definitely didn't know about Inktober. This was my first year participating because it was my first time finding out about it. And I enjoyed it. I learned some skills with drawing. I learned that I'm not so great at drawing faces, so that's something I'm going to continue practicing on. But I definitely love the fact that I learned about some new artists. There's a lot of people out there that have been practicing this for years and they've got some artwork to prove it. And not everybody did, pen and paper, not everybody used the color sheets, but it was definitely good to see how everybody used what they had. So some artists were just starting like me. This is their first time participating. Um, and so we were all learning. We all got to learn together. We all got to inspire each other and be inspired by each other, which is what I like about art, is that everybody has their own style. Everybody has their own gifts, their own, like, you're the only one that sees what's in your imagination. And when you actually create it and put it out there, then the rest of the world gets to enjoy what you see. Because I don't know if you know, but there's a lot of ideas that I have for my paintings, but you guys won't ever know about it until I actually paint it and show you guys. So it's the same way with your art, your creativity. And just remember, creativity isn't limited to arts and crafts. You can be creative in the kitchen using different flavors. Everybody can cook the same meatloaf, but not everybody does it the same way, right? That's why it's called creativity. Everybody has different ideas, different thoughts, and when we put it out there, you're bringing something the rest of the world can enjoy. So that's it for tonight. I don't have anything else to share with you, but thank you for joining me. If you were able to join, and if you're catching the replay, I hope you enjoyed this as well. And I know a lot of you are out there celebrating Halloween, so enjoy yourselves, be safe, and I will see you again here, same place, same time. Don't dash in ang coach awan